I've had this bad idea rolling around in my head for just way too long now, for years probably, that it would be a lot of fun to take a BC Rich Warlock and mold it, mutilate it, and mutate it, and rebirth it as a surf guitar. And I've come to the realization that I'm probably never going to spend the time to actually make it happen. The weeks, the months, the years maybe that it would take me to actually complete a project like that. So instead of spending months and weeks and years of my life doing that, I decided to Photoshop it together. So this is what I've been working on. Here is the guitar that I started with. I think I found this on Reverb or eBay or something like that. I wasn't very happy with the angle of the body. I was happy that I had a picture of the whole thing, neck and body, but I want the body to be flat. So the Lister had another angle of the body, but it didn't have the neck connected. So I kind of mangled them together. And I know it's not perfect. Give me a break here. I know it's not perfect. It's just for mock-up purposes, right? This isn't a technical diagram, but yeah, it's not perfect right around there, the 13th fret and whatnot. And I know the body's slightly too small now, but we can work with it, right? So right after that, I was like, I gotta change the color. And I've got to wipe away the hardware and the pickups and everything. Clean slate. So this is what I came up with. It's got to be Seafoam Green, right? If I'm going to make a Surf BC Rich, it's going to be Seafoam Green. It just has to be. Then I picked a bridge for it. Of course, it has to be a Jazzmaster bridge because it's going to have a wiggle stick and I want it to have that offset feel. Speaking of the wiggle stick, where is it? Here we go. Bigsby. But Ryan, how will it connect to the body? That's one of those big, long Bigsbys. I think a B2 or a B3 or something. I can never remember model numbers for Bigsby. So this is what I came up with. It's a crossbar. You see this type of mount on like Flying V's when they have Bigsbys on them. I just thought it would be so fun to have that on a Warlock on this metal pointy guitar. Where is the arm for it? There it is. All right, there we go. Now we've got to have a pickguard, right? I've got a white pickguard. I've got a black pickguard. I've got a tortoise pickguard. And I have got a pearl pickguard. Let's leave it on the black pickguard for now because the pickups are going to pop against that. And then we'll check out the other pickguards after I get all the rest of the stuff on the guitar. So what is next? Knobs. Got a knob there. Got a tone knob there. We've got a lipstick option in the neck position. I thought that looked pretty cool, but then I had a vision. I was like, I know exactly what should go in the neck pickup. One of these Seymour Duncan blade rail things here. I think DiMarzio makes versions of these too. There's probably a bunch of companies that make a pickup that look like that. But I think that's a really fun kind of combination of aggressive and classic styling and tonal options on this guitar. You've got the Jazzmaster pickup looking like a great big fat humbucker in the bridge, and then a single coil that actually happens to be the hottest pickup on the guitar in the neck position. It's somehow perfectly surfy, but also like a throwback to the aesthetics that you would find on a super strat / metal guitar like a BC Rich. Then I've got the strings. Of course, you got to have strings in there. Oh, and then all of the hardware, all the, where is it? There it is. All the screws and the switches. I have Mustang switches here or Jaguar switches, Jazzmaster switches. They're meant to be on and off switches. I suppose one of them could be three-way for an out phase or something like that. There's options. Use your imagination. So there it is. Let's throw a little wave background on there to complete the vibe. And check out those other pickguards while we're here. Here is the tortoise. I think that's classy. White hardware, white plastics on tortoise is always a good look, in my opinion, especially if you get like a really kind of dimensional red swirly sort of tortoise against those white plastics. But I think white is probably what I would do if I was going to actually build this, just because it gives it that kind of like iconic flat Fender mid-century kind of look that is very, very, very stereotypically surfy. And then, of course, here is the pearl. I know a lot of you are probably just going to be screaming, Pearl, Pearl, Pearl's the way to go. I'm not a lover of Pearl all the time. Let's try reversing the pickups here to see what that looks like. I might as well reverse the knobs and the switches. See, this is more of like a 90s take on the surf look with the contrasting plastics against the Pearl pickguard. Like, this is what Fender would have done on like a 1996 surfy BC Rich if they owned a BC Rich. It actually works really well as a BC Rich aesthetic, but it's not what I want for my BC Rich. That's what I want. So what do you guys think? Would you surf it? I know that I'd surf it. Are you kidding me? Look at that thing. It's beautiful. It looks better than what I imagined. I still don't feel like putting it together. I don't feel like doing the actual physical work to make this happen, but I'm glad I photoshopped it together. Maybe someday. Maybe. If I'm ever extra bored for some reason. But yeah, I have no problem getting on stage with that guitar, with my surf band, with Dinosaur Ghost. Playing a full set and looking out in the audience and just knowing that everyone in the audience is thinking, whoa, no way. Is that a BC Rich surf guitar? I can't believe it. I want to talk to the guy after the show. I'm going to buy him a drink. We're going to be best friends. No one cares. The only person who cares about these things are the guitarists holding the guitars. But still, look at it. It's fun. It's so much fun. Ah, man. I want it to exist. BC Rich, wherever you are, make this. You don't have to send it to me. You don't have to give it to me. I'm probably not going to have the money to buy it unless you do make it like $900 or something like that. Somebody make this thing and show me that they made it. I love it. One of the reasons I've had this idea in my head for so long is I have this idea that if you want to build a parts guitar, like you want to start with a pre-made guitar and modify it into your own special thing, and you want it to play somewhat aggressively in a fairly modern feeling sort of way, a great place to start is these kind of low budget metal guitars that were made through the late 90s up until like the early 2000s or something like that. They're all set up to be like decently fast players. They're not, a high-end metal guitar, but they're going to get you out of that kind of like trying to be vintage but not quite pulling it off territory. You get yourself like a 1998 BC Rich Warlock, and it's going to have a fast neck on it, and you're going to be able to set it up to play really great, even though, it was $300 when it was brand new or something like that. They built them to be fast because that's who they were trying to sell to. So that's my thought anyways. What do you guys think about that? You have any other ideas for weird guitars that I could Photoshop together? Drop your ideas down in the comment section. If I feel like doing it, if I feel like it's a good idea, maybe I'll tackle it. Maybe I won't. I mean, it's free to type in comments, so might as well do it, right? So anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me a rude and nasty comment. Support us on Patreon. Buy a shirt if you're naked, and stay grounded. Bye, everybody.